A lot of people say that Upwork is dead, saturated, race to the bottom. They're wrong. They just need to set their profile a little bit differently than everybody else. And we're going to talk about why that matters. I rebuilt mine to land AI and automation clients, and I'm going to show you the exact setup that I used using Claude AI. So I'm going to pull up my profile, and I'm going to walk you guys through the things in my profile that I changed. Now, if you know Upwork, you do know that Upwork is now a little bit more expensive to use because all of a sudden they want to charge you just to apply for a job. It's like LinkedIn on steroids. Like, why would you apply? Anyways, I'm not going to get there, but I am going to give you guys a hack to get around it. So you want to stick through the very end. I'm going to really go in and show you how my Upwork profile is running, what I'm doing. And just to give you some context, I built this Upwork profile 10 years ago. I optimized it about 3 years ago. And within a week, I landed a client that was about a $40,000 a year a type of client. And that went on for about 3 years. I stopped using Upwork because I got busy with other client work, busy with other projects like this account. And I'm now just going back into it because I have been seeing a lot more people going into the consulting spaces like Fiverr, Upwork, and I've been seeing them do it all wrong. So I want to really dive in here and explain to you guys what I'm doing, what's the best ways of doing things, what's the cheapest ways of doing things, and how to get around these barriers, especially with Upwork of these credits that you have to buy all of a sudden. People like me, people like you who are watching this, the biggest mistake they make is that they go on Upwork and they're like, I'm social media, SEO, marketing, design. I can mow your lawn. I can tie your shoes. I can make you lunch. And they make themselves so general that they become invisible. And you think that's going to get you more clients on Upwork, but it doesn't. People who actually hire on Upwork want somebody who are specializing in one thing. If you're going to be SEO, make yourself the best SEO person out there. If you're going to be social media, make yourself the best social media person, but don't try to do all of the above. If it's not in the same industry, definitely don't try to do all of the above. If you're going to be digital marketing, don't try to be social media. If you're going to be social media, yeah, you can throw in graphic design, you can throw in scheduling, you can throw in even blogging, writing. That's all under that umbrella, but keep your profile as social media. If that makes sense, leave a comment, let me know that makes sense. But I want to really bring that up because this is how I was when I first came on Upwork. I'm like, what do I do? And I'm looking at Upwork like, all right, here we go. I mean, I am a marketing automation engineer. I am a content creator. I can translate. I can speak multiple. And I'm like putting all this stuff out there. My profile is like this big. So it's like many things, master of none is what it's speaking out to everybody. So what I want you to do in this Upwork account that you're creating, or if you already have it, I want you to niche down so much that it feels uncomfortable. I want you to be looking at your niched account and saying, man, I do so much more than this. Why is this even there? I need to put more stuff, but don't do more stuff. You need to keep that niche very, very, very narrow. So I will show you what I mean, and I'm going to show you that right now. And then we're going to keep moving on. But today's class, I'm just going to talk through the profile. Then I'm going to a little bit touch on some AI that I have running on the background, because I do have AI running every 10 minutes to check the job posts, find jobs that are actually in my niche, and then sending me an email saying, hey, if you want to apply for this job, here's what I would do. And it actually writes my cover letter for me, prepares it all. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. I can send you the master prompt, especially if you're in the school account. I'm going to be sharing different master prompts, those 4 that I have that come with this Upwork program. One is going to be looking for jobs. One will be writing cover letters. One will be following up. And then the other one will be basically studying your resume and coming up with project ideas. And we're going to talk about projects later on. So jumping back into this, let's go ahead and share. Let's see. Bye. Here we go. Now, this is my Upwork feed. I'm going to go to my profile. Okay, so you see my profile, Marketo HubSpot Solutions Architect, Automation plus Agentic AI. That's it. I am trying to niche myself down to just Marketo and HubSpot. Now, even HubSpot is more of a small business type of thing. I'm not looking for HubSpot contracts, so I might even take that out. My main niche that I want to look for is going to be Marketo. So I'm going to remove this and just say Marketo Solutions Architect, blah, 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 blah. And, obviously I work in different CRMs, but I want to just pick one. Now, you guys are watching this video, okay? So I could be like, I am a video editor. I'm a YouTuber. Do you need SEO? Do you need Google Ads? Do you need anything like digital? Do you need me to build an AI and N8N? Yes, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to niche down to Marketo and only look for those jobs in that niche. Because I'll tell you, I mean, if I'm going everywhere and sending all these credits everywhere and applying for everything, I'm wasting time. And I'm going to be competing against HubSpot people who just got certified yesterday and are on, this platform for $5 an hour. And they're not going to hire me. Okay. But I need to find a niche, or I need to find an outcome that is worth paying for. Okay. Now remember that I need to find a niche, or I need to find an outcome. Never sell a package that is just so general, it just doesn't really, stand out. Always go with an outcome or a niche. Okay. So in this situation, I'm using a niche, but I have packages that I put together that actually sell the outcome. What do I mean by that? If I see somebody on Upwork saying, hey, I'm looking for a social media manager, they're not. Okay. I mean, yes, they are needing help at social media, but the question you have to ask is, what is the outcome they're needing? The outcome is, I don't want to spend all day, looking through content, making videos, finding, lyrics and blah, 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 blah. I'd rather somebody take that over. So what I do is I reach out to them with a package offer saying, hey, what if I could give you an AI that actually takes your website, writes blogs for you, posts to social media, does the whole 9 yards, and it's a one-time build and it just runs itself. Okay. I've now just sold them an outcome. The outcome is I don't have to hire you for 10 years and I can just get an AI that does that for me. And that is the outcome they want. So if I say, the equation I always use is basically outcome, expense, and time. Okay. So outcome, expense, and time. Outcome. Hey, I can build you a social media agent that handles all these things you're talking about in the job description for you. I can do it in 3 months, and it's only going to cost you $2,000. Outcome, time, expense. Done, right? People want to hear that. Executives want to hear that, okay? If I just show up and saying, hey, I do social media like everybody else. Here's a portfolio of my work. They don't have time. They're going to be going through 1,000 of those, okay? But nobody's actually just giving them the solution with a date and a cost of a one-time cost. So if I have a offer for $3,000, they will take that if it's going to run itself versus hiring me for $3,000 a month, and having me do everything. So that's the difference between an outcome versus just a service. And obviously a niche is just, I'm saying if you have a skill that is unique to you, niche in that. And then if you want to sell other things, put them into packages. So Marketo Solutions Architect, automation plus agentic AI. Simple enough. I'm talking about my 14 years of experience at Marketo. We talked about the title and we talked about the overview. So the title is basically Marketo Solutions Architect. Now the overview is going to be the things I can do. All right. So here's what I can do. I can do audits. I can do these. I can do these. I'm basically niching out in a software, telling them what I can do, because what I want is for people to find me. I do not want to find people on Upwork. I hope that makes sense. And you're like, why are you on Upwork, man? No, what I want to do is I want my profile to stand out so much and so niche that when they find me, they are like, okay, give this guy a job offer. And I'm the same way, because if I'm looking for somebody and I'm looking for a job, I don't post a job on Upwork because I have another Upwork account where I hire people, and I don't post a job publicly. I post it privately, and I want to search for the person myself because I'm looking for a specific type of person. If I post it publicly, like these people are doing, obviously it's going to be insane. I'm going to wake up the next day with 5,000 messages. I'm not going to have time to go through them all. I'm a busy executive. I don't have the time. And so I'm going to close my eyes and pick somebody and just go with the flow. And I don't like that. So if people are like me, I want to find people who are looking for people like me. So I want you to just make my profile stand out. And I do that a few ways. Number one, I lead with the outcome, not with my bio. Okay. And so look at what I just wrote here. I'm putting here that I architect marketing automation systems Fortune 500 teams run on and build agentic AI workflows that replace the manual work inside them. Boom, right? That's just a benefit statement. I don't start off with, it all started when I was 5. And no one cares about who I am. They want to know what I can offer their company. So it names the exact tools they search for. It signals seniority, solutions architect, not specialist, for instance. And it speaks really, really heavily on what my focus is. So the first 2 lines that matter most is going to be the outcome that you deliver and then the result you can give. So I'm leaving with an outcome and I'm ending it with a result, replacing the manual work inside of them with AI. Then I can talk about my bio and who I am. Okay. So I call this the do principle, right? Never tell somebody who you are until you can prove what you can do, right? And so to me, I want to show them like, here's the things I can help your company with before you know who I am. Now that you're interested in what I'm offering, now I can tell you who I am. Okay. No fluff. No, I'm passionate about this. No, I love this kind of work. No, I just want to get to the point, tell them what I can do. Okay. So your first 2 lines are your headline, write them like an ad and not a resume. Okay. So the ad will just be like clickbaitable. Okay. So make sure that's there. And another thing that I had to do in this profile would be like my skills, right? I had to go in here and change all of these skills. And the skills really do matter. Okay. So I removed all my generic stuff, social media marketing, SEO, search engine marketing. Who cares? If I offer that stuff, I will make a package out of it later. I added niches like CRM automation, business process automation, AI automations. Those are niches that I need to be in this space. Okay. So Upwork matches jobs to skills. So generic skills are matched against 40,000 freelancers with the same generic skills. So if you're jumping on Upwork and you're looking at this video and you're saying, hey, I think I can make it by putting Google ads. Good luck. Somebody in India has already beaten you, right? They're going to offer the same thing you're offering for like $5 to $10 an hour. You're not going to compete. Okay. And they're probably going to have more experience than you. So do not go general. Always go niche in your skill side as well. Okay. So now a niche skill is matched against a few people. Okay. So you want the small pond and not the big pound. So okay, for instance, let's just say I am like, okay, Nathan, I don't care what you're saying. I want to do SEO. No problem. Niche your SEO. Do not put SEO as a skill. Put SEO for pharmaceuticals, SEO for dentists, SEO for lawyers. I help lawyers get organic content through Google search engines using SEO models. An attorney on Upwork would see that and be like, this guy knows my industry. I'm going to look at him before I look at all these other general people. All right. So if you've already have experience with SEO and you have some wins with a certain industry, go that direction. I have a friend and you're going to see him on the next video named Sam. He's a great student. He came into the office with 0 business 3 months ago. And now he's closing his 4th client today, I hope. And he came with like, hey, I worked in ads for a surgical company for this long, and I want to start my own company doing ads. Okay, well, your niche now is you're doing ads for medical. And he started there and slowly built it out to other, industries. And now he has a lot of other, the clients he's closing now is everything from sports companies to dog food to a lot of different things. But his niche, the thing that he can sell with is, hey, I was in this space. I helped this surgeon make $300,000 with a $30,000 budget. I use that as his headline. I'm like, this is your headline. This is what you're going to use to sell to other people. And so, in a 3-month period of time, he went from zero to, I would say what, 5,000 a month, which is pretty good, for reoccurring revenue. Um, and it's because we learned how to headline and did some other things great as well. As, use AI to build his website, find his customer base. We built some automations in our next lesson, not on Upwork, but on just automations. We will be doing a live session with Sam and walking his company through some new automations that I'm going to be walking him through and teaching him. So you want to stick around for that one. So we removed all the generalized stuff. So it's automation, Marketo, HTML, HubSpot, blah, 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 artificial intelligence. Now, a lot of these things are niche. N8N is niche. Email design is niche. So I'm not going to put anything general there. If someone's like, do you know SEO? Sure, I can throw that out there in an interview, but we want to build our profile with just those niche skills. The next thing we're going to do is the project catalog. Okay. So you see these projects, you see my clickbait, these are projects that I won't own here, and I'm going to be adding more, probably about 20 altogether. So we won't productize listings because these are the things that people are going to pay for without interviewing you. Okay, you don't have to pitch these. Your listing pitches itself. So if they go to this project and they see this project and they're like, "Hey, I want a HubSpot portal audit." Great. They can go here. The whole project is here. My portfolio is attached to it. If they want to know how it works, then they just need to go to my video. I have a video while I'm explaining it. And so there's a video of me explaining, this is my framework. This is how I'm going to audit your system, blah, 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 blah. And this is how much it's going to cost at the bare minimum. We have add-ons and things of that nature. The goal is for the add-ons to be purchased, right? We have, if you want Marketing Hub audit, those are add-on. If you want Salesforce integration, that's an add-on. Operations Hub, that's an add-on. So the goal is to push this to a $3,500 project that, we can do typically in about 30 days or less. And so that's the goal. We want this to be out there. So if somebody's looking for an audit, instead of me jumping in front of them and being in a pool of 4,000 people, I can just make the project that speaks to that, and they can find that project on Upwork, pay for it, hire me, and it's done. I don't have to go through a pool of people or compete against it. So far, I have put in, Adobe audit, a HubSpot audit. I put in an N8N workflow that brings Apollo leads into Go High Level just because I saw someone with that job. Now, this is kind of what I want to bring up as well. So if you are seeing a job consistently and you're jumping in the pile of that job and you're competing with the 40,000 people or whatever, it's better to just go ahead and take that job, put it into an AI, and then have the AI write you the copy to create a project out of that. If I'm seeing HubSpot audit, which I am, everyone's saying, hey, audit our HubSpot, or hey, set up our workflows. Okay, let me make a project out of that and just put my price there so that, again, going back to the beginning of what we just talked about, I'm no longer selling a service, I'm selling an outcome. In a project, I am saying, hey, I can audit your system, give you a report, give you a PowerPoint, and even show you where your data is doing. I can do it in 30 days, and it's going to cost you $3,000. Boom, right? And that's a project. That's an outcome, right? I just gave them the outcome, the time it's going to take, the price it costs. They're like, say no more. That's what I want. That's in our budget, and they pay for it. Versus me trying to sell myself as a service, which, I do that too on a bigger scale, but it's not something that I want to do on Upwork. So when I say I'm trying to make $10,000 a month on Upwork, people are like, man, how many applications are you running? None. I mean, I even made this whole strategy to say, like, I do not want to be on Upwork giving applications. The AI that checks the jobs every 10 minutes, it's very niche. It only looks for a certain thing. It's ran itself over 10 times today, and I haven't applied for anything. Only because none of that is going into a niche that I'm looking for. Some of them look like low-hanging fruit, but still, I'm trying to just build up a profile that makes me findable and makes me hireable and has me selling the outcome to people. So this is where the project catalog is important, because your projects are free. You can make as many of these on Upwork as you want, and you don't have to pay credits for them. So create your projects, put videos behind them so you can explain yourself and your expertise, and then let people come to you. Okay. So that is the powerful thing about this. Also, the one thing that's cool about the projects is that there are tiered approaches. I'm not using the tiers on these, but there are tiered approaches that you can use if you want to like sell services, very similar to Fiverr. Okay. So a proposal is you chasing somebody saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm look at me." And you're in a pool of people and all of them are saying, "Look at me." And the person's like, "I don't know who to pick. There's too many resumes. I'm just going to have AI figure this out." Or you can put a project and that is them coming to you. Okay. So just remember, you want to push a project and have people come to you. So the three things, just to clarify what we talked about: your title, it matters. It matters a lot. Make sure it's niche. Your bio, make sure you are starting with a clickbait thing that explains what you do and what the outcome people can rely on before you go into your bio and who you are and blah, 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 blah. Make sure you have a what I do for clients, not like here are the things I could do, possibly could do, but here's what I've done for clients. Here's the things I can do for you. Make sure your profile speaks seniority and not entry level. Okay. So make sure you're saying, like with me, right? I'm like 14 years I've been doing this. I've worked with Dropbox. That might not be you, but use whatever you can to buy in your reputation and stand on that so that you are coming across as a senior level person and not just some $5 an hour entry level person that just got certified yesterday. So make sure that's the case. Secondly, portfolio is important. Make sure you have a portfolio of your work. I threw in something I've done for Dropbox, Atlanta Hawks, Microsoft, just to try to showcase that I've worked with larger clients. But the portfolio is not as important as the skill set. Make sure your skills are niche down skills and not overgeneralized. And then finally, once all that is done, only once that is done, start building some projects and getting your projects out there, getting them viewed. Take those projects. These projects have links, take the links, put them on LinkedIn. You could take those and put them on Fiverr. You can do a lot of different things kind of like to sell that project if you really want to just focus on a specific project. If I'm doing this and I'm building this, the one tool I'm going to use is going to be Claude. So Claude was actually able to tell me what skills to add. It was able to tell me what projects to create. It was even able to rewrite all of this for me and make it look nice. So I built a Claude agent and it basically was like looking at my Upwork profile saying, "Man, this is bad. Like you look like you're generalized, you look entry level. This doesn't even speak to you." And I'm like, "Okay, I can take the hit. Go ahead and update it." So I gave Claude my resume and I said, "Based on what you see here, go ahead and update this." And Claude was able to help me with a lot of this. Okay. So if you want to use Claude to get past a lot of what I'm telling you, make sure you first feed Claude your resume, tell Claude the kind of clients you're trying to get, and then have Claude go into that tab of your Upwork and explain to you like what needs to change. So I hope this helped you guys out. Remember those three things. Go ahead and start your profiles. If you have any questions about your profile, if you want me to check out your profile, if you're part of my school account, just go ahead and comment to me or shoot me a DM and just give me your profile link. I'll let you know if it looks good, or if I think something needs to change, and I'll use the agents that I've built to help me do that. So thank you guys for watching again, and I will talk to you soon.